Hello, this is Max, and this is my Bible Study 25, which would be impressive if I didn't start this in December. But anyway, this is Matthew 7, 1 through 6. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet, and then turn and tear you to pieces. Now, this came to me. This affects me a lot as well. I wonder, like, sometimes I feel like I do a lot of judging on this video blog, mostly toward the fundamentalists. And sometimes I say, well, and this is what I used to be. It's like, do not judge, or you will be judged. For the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And the measure you use will be measured to you. So then I think, well, they judge others all the time. They judge and condemn. So then it's okay for me to judge them. But then I also think this is more about God judging us by the way we judge our fellow man. And so then, it feels good to judge. It feels good to look our nose down on people and say, I'm better than them. Look at the way they act. But that's not the way we should act, because we're not perfect. And we know that when we're judging someone else is judging us. And I am guilty of this in a very heinous way. I suffer from mental illness, anxiety and depressive disorders. And there is a place here in Madison called Gahara House that helps people with severe mental illness. And I don't volunteer there. I thought about doing it. I also was a member of I went to a support group once, and it was just, it was like so depressing, and so I felt the pain, and I couldn't handle it. But I realized what I was doing was I was judging people worse off than me. And there's the there by the grace of God go I. But I was just saying, but part of it was like, oh, I'm glad I'm not that bad. Just like talking and just ugly people. I thought, my aunt was bipolar. She killed herself. And she had some friends. She was a big leader in the consumer community. But some that don't like when you're very severely mentally ill, you're just so your brain is so confused. You're so focused that you don't have time. You don't have proper hygiene. You don't you don't think to chew your like food out with your mouth open and stuff like that. And I know them from when I was young, and I kind of, because of mental illness equals ugly. And when I started getting like anxiety and stuff like that, I was kind of a self-loathing, mentally ill person. And as I got older and I got a little better, it's easy to say, well, I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. And that's a terrible way to look at it. I remember a Saturday Night Live sketch with Julian Bond, a great civil rights leader, who was talking about like the perils of racism and and how people should not view themselves as better just because they're white. And then he badmouthed Garrett Morris's character, and so I think the interviewer said, like, "Why are you doing?" Well, I'm a lighter skinned black, so I am smarter and superior than him. And I mean, that's the thing. I'm not superior than anyone. And so that's why today at the grocery store there was a guy who was I don't know if he was with his brother or with a caretaker, but I mean he was I don't know what he had. I mean, might have been developmentally disabled. I don't know. That doesn't matter. But I mean, you're just saying, like, I had like my groceries, and he said, well, "What are you buying? What are you buying?" And I just some groceries, and I had questions. And I was just like, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I have to get my bus. Just go away. Go away." And after that, I just felt so guilty. All of a sudden, I realized people are probably feeling the same way about me. And for my judgment, I'm being judged. And I don't want them to judge me. I mean, sometimes when I'm very anxious or panicky, I talk very fast. I sometimes can come off as needy. And I don't want people to judge me and say, just go away. I don't want to deal with you. So I do the same thing to someone done. And we can't do that. And all of us don't want God to do that. And when we come to Him, He won't do that. But He expects us not to do that in turn. I mean, we all have our own blind spots. We all have our planks in our eyes. I mean, personally, I believe the best is to not try to, like, hey, you have a spot in your eye while you have a beam in your eye. And I mean, this is hyperbole, which Jesus used a lot to make a point. I think the best is, like, we help each other with our specks. We help each other with our planks. I mean, that's the only way we're going to get any better, is if we help each other. And that's what I hope I'm doing when it comes to fundamentalism. I mean, just saying, you are wrong here. I mean, look at what you're doing. Like a friendly rebuke. And do not give to dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet. I've heard this used a lot with people don't talk. They don't talk to people they disagree with, like trying to like talk to, like, if they're Protestant to Catholic, Catholic talking to a Protestant. I mean, and I mean people like even sometimes I use this to, like, sometimes it feels like talking to fundamentalists. It's like talking to a brick wall. I mean, it's like my grandma used to say, "My mind's made up. Don't confuse me with the facts." And I like that phrase. I mean, there is truth, but we do not have it. I mean, we have the Bible, but with interpretations, we're human, so we have to discuss and try to find the truth. I mean, there's doctrine, there's theology, but there's good doctrine, there's bad doctrine, there's theology that turns into ideology. Unless we have a discussion and a conversation about it, we don't know if we're right and we might be doing wrong. And sometimes I take this, like, especially in the comment forum on these videos, on a YouTube video, like a comment, and if I get like a nasty attack, or if someone is just, their mind's so made up they don't want to discuss, they don't want to share, like, this is what I view it as. But if they're so certain, I'm very scared of people who say they are 100% certain this is what God wants them to do. Cult leaders do that. Dictators do that. We're not cult leaders and we're not dictators. But God bless you. Have a good